Welcome Libra to your monthly tarot reading for the month of October. Let's get started. Okay, Libra. So we have the Angel Wisdom Tarot as your overall energy. We have the Universal Rider-Waite Tarot as your basically depicting the 4 weeks of the month, or in the order that the energies are likely to play out. We have the Spirit Animal Oracle and also the Messenger Oracle, just for some additional insights and information. If you haven't yet, Libra, have a look at your 3-month reading. So that covered October, November and December. I'm going to be bringing in the cards that came out for October in that reading, just so we can bring it together and give you more information for the month of October. So the overall energy is the Wheel of Fortune. And what a beautiful card to start off with. And it says a fresh new start or the end of delays, sudden or unexpected progress, a very positive change in your life, travel or a new vehicle. Now I love that you got the Wheel of Fortune. And I love this Wheel of Fortune because it always makes me think of the world, because the world in the middle. Now you actually got the world in your 3-month reading for October. You got vibration, teaching and learning, and the world. And I love, because the world is the end of the Fool's journey. It brings you to a complete new start. So it's not a bend in the road on the journey that you're already on. It's not a pivot point where you change direction. It's the end of a journey to start a whole new one. And I feel with the Wheel of Fortune here, now both of those cards, the Wheel of Fortune and the World, are major arcana, which for me is the universe taking action on our behalf. So I feel that the wheel is turning, and that's what's bringing you this whole new beginning. And I mean, look, you've got 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Swords, you have the Emperor and the Queen of Pentacles. Now this is really polar energies kind of thing. They depict completions, they depict prosperity and things like that, but in very, very different ways. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this reading progresses. But in your last reading, it really, or in the 3-month reading, it really was about learning and teaching. You can teach what you've learnt. People can teach you what they've learnt. So there was this real sharing of knowledge and wisdom. And that was from what you had learned on your past journeys. And I really feel with the wheel coming in again and both these 10s, I really feel it's just cementing that new beginning, that ending, the World card. You know, it's that completion of that cycle completely and utterly. And it's this Wheel of Fortune, it's the universe turning things. The Wheel of Fortune for me is how the universe aligns things for us, for our better good, for us to learn something, for us to take a chance on, for us to grow, all sorts of things. And the wheel turns, and sometimes we try to block the wheel because we don't want it to turn. We've hit a bit of a comfort zone, or we're too scared to move forward, so we try to block it. We don't. All we do is just increase our discomfort and our pain or our fears. The wheel is best left to turn. And I feel, Libra, you just don't have an issue with that. I feel that everything about your reading is one of understanding, and I think that comes from that learning and teaching card as well that you got. In raising your vibration, we raise our vibration through understanding, through moving forward on our soul's journey, and that takes celebration and pain. Like they come hand in hand. That's not always one or the other. It might feel like we're in one longer than the other, but there is this turning of the wheel. We learn from both. So the first week we have the Ten of Pentacles. Actually, I'm going to read both tens together because I just feel like they won't make as much sense being read separately. So you got the World in your 3-month reading for October, and that's the end of the completion of the Fool's Journey, a whole cycle. And I feel that, I have to say, for some of you, you've finished on the Ten of Pentacles. For some of you, you've finished on the Ten of Swords. That's life. For some of you, it just depicts what you've been through on your journey. It's been a bit of this and a bit of that. Either way, you have to put the cycle that you are on to rest. Now, this is where the wheel gets interesting. So Libra, I want you to look at these two. Now, some of you have had mixed, so you know, it's mixed bag of lollies. That was how it was. But I'm kind of, the message that I'm getting from Spirit is, some of you are ended on the Ten of Pentacles, some on the Ten of Swords. Now, you might be the Ten of Swords, and you might be thinking, why? What did I do wrong to end on the Ten of Swords? Why did this have to happen to me? Now, those of you that have finished on the Ten of Pentacles, you might be saying, no, I don't want the wheel to turn. I want to stay here forever. I don't want to take the chance of ever ending up here. Can you see how there is for and against? There is no, there's perfectness in the unperfectness of it all, if you know what I mean. If you're in the Ten of Swords and you get the Wheel of Fortune, yeah, you're like, yippee, turn that wheel, I'm happy to get out of this. If you're in the Ten of Pentacles, you're going to be like, oh, no thank you. I don't know what this turning of the wheel is going to bring me. I'd rather stay where I am. So energy never stands still. We never stand still. We might feel like it, but the seasons change. There's always change. In fact, I don't know who said it, but that's a constant that we can, that is something that we can always guarantee on. Things will change. That's the only sure thing in this world, is that there will be change. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going from this energy to this energy, or this energy to this energy. And that's not always to say that you'll find yourself in some level of this energy or some level of this energy. They intermingle. They, you know, remember there's all the swords and there's all the pentacles before you get to the tens. That's a journey. It's an understanding. But regardless of which 10 you fall on, complete abundance and happiness, success, or pain, disappointment, but the end of a difficult cycle with the sun rising in the background. You've learnt so much. You're never repeating this again. So in this energy, you're more ready to embrace the new. This energy, sometimes not so much. But Libra Spirit's asking you that regardless of where you are on your journey, allow that wheel to turn. I love how the Emperor is in the middle here, because it doesn't matter how you're ending your last journey. What matters is what you take from it. What matters is who you have become because of it. Both have something to teach us. Both show us the importance of acceptance, the importance of letting go. We need to let go of our sorrow and our pain to move forward. We need to let go sometimes of our possessions and our relationships to move forward. The Emperor stands in his power. The Emperor doesn't try to hold on to things. He knows his power is, I mean, an Emperor can be here today and gone tomorrow. The fact that he's here is not his power. The fact that he's the Emperor is not his power. His power is in who he is on the inside. It's his wisdom. It's his compassion. If he did nothing for others, he wouldn't be an emperor for very long. It's the understanding. The emperor understands his power and he knows how to be a leader. He's not a dictator. So when we step into the energy of the emperor, regardless of whether we're male or female, when we step into the energy of the emperor, we understand how powerful we are. We don't need to demonstrate it. We don't need to fight others. We don't need to prove ourselves right. We don't challenge others. We don't fall into pettiness with others. Little squabbles. No, I think like this. No, I think like this. No, I think like this. An emperor just wouldn't even engage in that, because he has enough wisdom to see where that leads, to see what in us guides those conversations, those squabbles, those interactions with others. It's our ego. It's our insecurities. An emperor is not insecure. He is sure of himself. And that's what makes him such a good leader. He can listen to others. He can take on board the opinion of others because he's not threatened by them. And I feel, Libra, that it really doesn't matter what energy you end on. It really doesn't matter where you are when you finish the cycle. Spirit's saying whatever past cycle, whatever past journey you went on, it was to bring you to this understanding of who you are. And I love how you've got the Queen of Pentacles, because the Queen of Pentacles, she's abundant. She doesn't have to hustle for her abundance. She doesn't multitask. She doesn't dash about like a chook without a head, you know. She doesn't. She has a calm, receiving energy about her. She understands that what she needs, when she gets to the point that she needs it, it will be there for her. There's a real trust in the Queens. The Queen of Pentacles is the trust that resources will come to you when you need them. The opportunities will come to you when you need them. The world is infinitely abundant. You are not taking abundance from others. You can receive gladly and with gratitude, because you're not taking from another. There is more than enough. And that's what happens when you step into your power. You know that what you wish for, others don't, when we're in line, when we're aligned. You know, because a lot of us, I'll put jobs as a very good example. A lot of us go for jobs because of the prestige and the money. And then we can say, oh yeah, look, I got this job. And, you know, that's very ego driven. That's to show others our worth. But when we know our worth, and when we realize that our worth doesn't come from our job, doesn't come from our status in the world, or how much money we've got, or how we look, we don't go for those jobs that don't suit us. We don't go for those jobs to build ourselves up. We go for the jobs that are aligned with who we are. And that's when we don't take from others, because we're aligned. We're not doing it ego driven. We're doing it being driven by our soul and our heart. And the Queen knows this. So she's happy to receive because she knows what she receives. She hasn't taken it from somebody else. It's hers. It goes far to say is, you know, you can't receive what is meant for another. Or you can, but you will lose it. Or it will cost you so much to be in it. So for instance, just to give you an example, and this is not what's happening in your journey, Libra, this is just an example so you can see the energies I've just been talking about. But if you were to go for a job because you wanted the ego, your ego to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Your ego to be boosted. Now that job might cost you so much. It might cost you a marriage that is good, but suddenly the job takes over and you have to become different in order to be in that job, because it's not who you are. Other areas of your life might fall away. That's to guide you, to show you, hey, this job's not right. Or you might work and work and work, only then to have somebody come out of nowhere and take the job from you. But it leaves you very like, I've been used. You'll feel very used. You'll feel very, but it's not other people that have done that to you. You've done that to yourself. But I'm not saying that that's not happening in your reading, Libra. It's just to explain the energies of the Queen of Pentacles in how the universe brings you what's for you. You've just got to be in your power and aligned. And then you have Parrot Spirit. Watch your words. Now with Parrot Spirit, I generally always kind of say, you know, be careful what you say to others. I find Parrot Spirit can sometimes be the ego side of ourselves, because they're flamboyant and they're loud. And our ego voice is loud. Our wisdom, our soul voice is a whisper. So I often talk about that when the Parrot Spirit comes out. But in this reading, I'm getting something really different, and I think it's because the Empress here. And I'm getting the opposite. In this reading, I'm getting your authentic self is the parrot. Colourful. You might have lots to say. There might be something that you need to share with those around you or with the world at large, and you're being quiet. You being a wallflower when you need to be the life of the party. Now that's only a metaphor, but I get the feeling that, Libra, in some way, are you making yourself small? Now that can happen sometimes when we find our power. Some people, when they realize their power, they kind of get drunk on the power and they go in the other sense, where they think they're better than everybody else. And it just takes balancing the energies. I'm wondering if this power has, for some of you, made you think, oh my gosh. And so you're making yourself small in some way. Okay, so some of you are going to get drunk on this power and think you're better than others and be loud and flamboyant. Nothing wrong with being flamboyant. It just, if you're doing it because that's who you are, beautiful. Be colourful, be bright. The universe wants that. It wants us to be ourselves, and we're all different. But if you're doing it to kind of say, look at me, I'm all this, again, that's ego driven. So sometimes when we see our true power, our ego can take over. And sometimes it can take over by making us a bit overbearing. Sometimes it can have the opposite effect and make us kind of go, oh my gosh, where did this come from? And we shrink back from it and make ourselves small. So there's a message in there, Libra, for you to see which way. You're all going to see this power. It's part of the new journey. It's part of the experience that is getting you to your new journey. You've got the grasshopper spirit next. Take a leap of faith. That's the world. That's the, from the world, the next card after the world is the Fool. That's the leap of faith. And you need to understand your power before you can take this leap of faith. If not, you'll just jump anywhere. And Parrot Spirit here is to say, watch your words. Also watch, you know, our words come from our mind. So our words are just, if we're not aware, it's just our mind coming through vocally. When we're aware, we can, you know, we have an easier time of not talking. You know, looking at, well, where is that saying that worth it? Like, not worth it, but is it, where is it coming from? If it's an ego-driven thing, I'm not saying it. If it's a soul thing, then I'm going to speak it. So here it's watching what your power is doing to your thoughts and your words and how you interact with others. because some of you will shy away and make yourself small, and some of you will be just that little bit overbearing. So just something to watch. Grasshopper spirit, take a leap of faith. And it requires, I love how he's wearing a crown, it requires you to be in your sovereignty. It requires you to be in your personal power in order to take this leap of faith. A leap of faith, it's not a small thing. It takes courage, and it takes faith. It takes believing and trust in something bigger than you. Because a leap of faith is just that. It's saying yes to something when you're not quite sure how it's all going to pan out. It's going in a direction that you've never gone before. There are no, you know, it's not a path that's all neatly laid out where you can see every single step and where it takes you right the way through. There's unknown. There's the unknown in the leap of faith. And the more aware of yourself you can be, and the more aware you can be of your ego and how that's guiding you. Because if you're making yourself small, you're likely not to take the leap of faith, because you just won't have the power behind you or the confidence. If on the other hand your ego is making you really the only thing that comes to me is drunk on your power, which is, I'm sure there's a billion better ways to say that, but you know, you're going to take your leap of faith in any which direction. And ego can either make us lose our self-confidence, or it can make us be unrealistically self-confident. So either way, we're not in alignment. So if you're feeling really gung-ho, or if you're feeling really timid, wait. There's more understanding. You know, the wheel's turning. There's so many things at play that, you know, you've got major arcana, so the universe is at play here. You've got a lot of endings. Endings bring about a lot of emotion, a lot of purging, you know, a lot of forgiveness, release, understanding, wisdom. So there's a lot in this mix. Give yourself time. And then you end with reveal your truth. And when we become aligned, we can take off the masks that we wear for people, situations, jobs, whatever. When we become aligned, we let go. And this could be, Libra, this could be aligning with people in your life. It can be aligning with you, aligning with jobs, aligning with loved ones. It can be taking off the masks that you wear, the pretenses that the acts that you put on. It can be changing your relationships, changing your situations, changing your life. Letting go of what no longer is part of the real you. That's the endings. That's when things end. Because we outgrow them. We change so much that things around us change. Sometimes it's just one area. It might be a relationship, it might be a friend, it might be a point of view that we had, it might be a job. Sometimes it's such a big change, it can be everything in our life that changes. Libra, it'll be different for all of you. But this is change. And this is you This is you feeling comfortable, understanding what drives you, but essentially being comfortable as who you are and being not afraid to go, right, this is me. If people don't like that, they're not aligned with your path. They'll fall away. If you show your true self and people like you, they're on that next part of your journey with you. But it's when we pretend that, oh, we get a mixed bag, because some people can see through the pretenses, some people can't. So then they've aligned with you when they shouldn't have. That's where things become messy. But that's part of life as well. Life is messy too. But I feel all these changes that you're going through, Libra, really is to align you with your authentic self, and your next journey is going to feel really, really different to everything else you've experienced, because you are aligned. You are you. I'm going to leave you with those messages, Libra. Love and light, my friends. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.